Welcome to Watch of the Week here on Caseback. This is a series of brief reviews and previews of recently introduced timepieces. It's not a commercial, so you will hear my unfiltered reaction, my unfiltered opinion, and our guest in this week is... In difficult hours we need something to play, right? Sitting here in a severe lockdown, the sea with all its exciting fun is far away. And so I felt sort of a cheerful melancholy when I saw the first images of the Yema Yachtingraf. Let's go over the basics. Automatic chronograph with bronze case and steel caseback. Diameter is 40 mm, thickness is 16 mm, including the heavily domed sapphire crystal, so it should wear more like 14 or 15 mm. Length overall is 48, lug width is 20, unidirectional bezel with an aluminium insert. The watch is waterproof up to 100 meters. And inside you find the well-known Seiko NE86 with 34 rubies and a beat rate of 28,800. 45 hours power reserve. And the watch comes on a rubber strap or on leather. Price is 1,699 in euros and US dollars, at least on their website today. This is a bit unusual because of completely different currencies, but these prices are in general complicated to compare between continents. Europe has 19% VAT included, buyers from overseas have to be aware of customs instead, and so the price depends on your location. Keyword bronze now. It's a trend in watchmaking and I personally like the material, and especially when I see it in its natural environment. If you imagine the metal parts on boats, more luxury boats than regatta vessels, then you see a lot of bronze or brass there. And so in my eyes, here it makes perfect sense. And it just adds a nice color. That's the first aspect I like to concentrate on. The combination of this rough gold tone together with the red and blue of the counter, for example, the regatta counter. Don't ask me how this counter works in an actual racing context. I have no idea, but I think you can use it also as a normal chronograph. Shout out to sailors in the audience, correct me if I'm wrong, please. On the right you find the seconds, pretty normal. And the date is located on position 6. Relatively big date, black date wheel with a subtle font, so it doesn't stand out too much and is legible at the same time. And I like how they've integrated this day. The frame plays well with those almost square indices. And I also like the Yema logo and the other printed informations. Not too many, not too few. The bezel is pretty basic and is supposed to do the job of a GMT function, which also makes sense if you are on the sea. And of course the case will evolve patina. How strong? Well, this depends, and I think more on the alloy than on influences like water, etc. At least this is my experience. If you see very old bronze items, then you may notice that they can turn green pretty quickly. But this is apparently not the case with modern alloy. But little warning, this is speculation. Here you see a loom shot, and there the piece really shines and plays. Gorgeous look. The only thing I find a bit too modern in a way is the rubber strap. I really would pair this watch with leather or a good old NATO. Although for a NATO it might be too high, take this in consideration please. Most NATOs add easily 2 mm to a watch. Caseback, stainless steel. This is convenient because it keeps the bronze away from the skin, important for people with allergies. The price is a bit brutal when you take in consideration the Seiko movement, but we have to see that these watches are pretty wanted. You definitely find some vintage Yachtingrafs or other regatta watches from the 60s and 70s on the market, and if they are in good condition, they are extremely wanted, extremely expensive. So this modern reissue here might be too expensive, but I could imagine that they will be sold out pretty quickly, despite that. And one word here about limitations. I think most of us don't like them so much, but maybe limitation is the reason why we find unusual watches like this one on the market. The economic chances here for the manufacturer are very limited, but Yema can be sure that on the entire globe there will be 200 people who like this watch so much that they purchase it. So the risk is also limited. And as a result, here I see clearly a pro for a limitation. Last point, availability. You can pre-order the watch right now. Delivery then is announced for mid-April. And I'm looking forward to see this watch under daylight and maybe even on the sea. Okay, that's all for now. See you next Monday to Watch of the Week here on Caseback.